Hello everyone, I'm Broughy1322 and welcome to another Broughy Rambles video where I'm going to be talking about a recent article that I wrote for PC Gamer about GTA Online. But before I get into it quickly, I just want to say that the PO box that we have opened, and we've done a few videos in this series opening up stuff that you guys have sent, that is going to be closing in about a month. So it is quite expensive to keep it open, and we initially just bought sort of 6 months of it, and that's going to be ending very soon. So if anybody is thinking about sending something to the PO box to me, myself or Zexy, you're welcome to do that, but you only have a few weeks to do it. I would say get it sent now if you can, otherwise they risk sort of not coming, because we can't sort of keep it open indefinitely. But maybe we'll open it up later on in the future again. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly let you guys know that it is going to be closing. The PO box information will be down below in the description, and if people do send stuff, well, I will make sort of one more video of stuff that you guys have sent, and unboxing and things like that. But obviously you never have to send anything, it's all good. So talking about an article that I wrote recently about GTA for PC Gamer, pretty interesting. I enjoyed doing this quite a lot. Originally it was one of the editors over there at the PC Gamer website contacted me and said, would you like to write an article for us about the fastest cars in GTA? Obviously, I guess I am the go-to now when it comes to sort of expertise on that sort of thing, and I've always enjoyed writing stuff. I'll obviously leave a link to the article down below if anyone wants to have a read of it. I've always enjoyed writing things, and it was only recently that in the latest Broughy Explains video that I wrote an article on the things that you can do to support your favourite YouTubers. I'll leave that down below as well, but that was sort of written in more of an article style as well. And I have my own, I guess I haven't exactly been officially taught how to write. I'm not a games journalist or anything like that. I haven't exactly taken any classes on how to write things. I've just wrote things and I do it in my own style. And I used to write obviously essays and dissertations for university, things like that. So I have some experience in how to write things, but I've never done anything like this before. And it was, I absolutely jumped at the chance because I quite enjoy doing that sort of thing. And it's just something new, something fresh. I never thought that I'd be writing an article for, a big gaming website. It's pretty crazy that YouTube has led to something like that. And the way that I sort of structured the article, the way that I went about it was taking my testing videos, so the top speeds and the lap times, to sort of I sort of took the top 5 in lap time and top speed and explained which people might want to use in each situation, and then kind of approached it from a more a standpoint of what one car would you have if you could only have one, if you wanted to if you were low on money or something, or you wanted a sort of jack of all trades car, which one would be the best. And it's something that I haven't really covered. I've sort of mentioned it in the testing videos before, but I haven't really covered it in as much detail as what I did in the article. And I sort of compared 2 cars that were both in the top 5 for lap times and top speeds, and then we ultimately came out with one winner that was sort of it's always my recommendation when people say what car should I use. I always say the Nero Custom, because if you're having to ask that question, then you don't know enough to be able to use anything else, and the Nero Custom is always your best option. So I structured the article in that way, and I think it turned out quite well. I think it was quite an interesting article, and some of the things that were in there I haven't really talked about too much in terms of YouTube videos. I've touched on it before, but I went sort of in more depth as to why the Nero Custom is the overall best car that you could use if you just had to have one. And what got me with doing it was the response. I was so surprised because when I was approached to do this, and I said I would do it, and then I wrote the first introduction in one day, then I left it for about almost 4 weeks, and then I wrote the rest of it on another day, then spent an extra day just, proofreading it, make sure it's okay. Obviously not the full day, just, that's how long it took. So it wasn't something that really took too long, and I never really put too much emphasis on it. I didn't think, wow, this is going to be a huge thing and it's going to be seen by a lot of people. I just kind of did what I do with YouTube videos and just wrote something. Like I would just make a video, and if people watch. I just ultimately do what I want to do. And it was the same with the article. I just started writing, and it helped that it was to do with my, you know, all the testing that I've done. All that knowledge was already in my head, so it was quite easy to write it. I didn't need to do any extra research for the article or anything like that because it was all my knowledge. So, you know, it wasn't too big of an issue or too big of a deal for me to actually write the thing and then submit it. But then when it was actually released on the PC Gamer website, I just got a flood of tweets saying congratulations, well done, so you're a writer now was one of them, you know, games journalist, Broughy1322 and all this kind of stuff. And I just thought, wow, I kind of underestimated the importance of such a thing, which is nice, you know. It's nice that people were so supportive of it, and I think the article turned out well enough that people enjoyed it and appreciated it as well, so that helped. But yeah, I was so shocked by the response, and it's made me realize that it was kind of a bigger deal than what I initially thought it was. And you know, as I sit here now, I'm proud of doing that. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm happy that it's not so much a self-promotion thing, because things like that you never really get very many people. Even though my testing is linked within the article, the amount of people that will come from that article to my channel is probably very, very small. It's the same with YouTube shoutouts and things like that. You really, really don't get an awful lot from that, unless it's one video specifically made about you that goes into great detail to tell people to go over to you. You know, a quick shout out and a link in the description. It honestly doesn't do that much in terms of, you know, seeing an increase in sub numbers. So from that perspective, I'm not really seeing anything like that or wanting anything like that. It's more that it was just something a little bit different, something where I could be a bit more creative. Well, not more creative, but I could be creative in a different way. So from going from making videos and then streaming to something completely different but still related to what I originally do and all the knowledge that I've gained, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun writing it, and then it was a lot of fun reading all the responses. And like I said, it was a shock that people were so supportive. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of make a video, just as always with this series, rambling about it and explain it and let you guys know that I did write it. And if anybody who follows me didn't see it, like I said, I'll link it down below in the description. You can have a read of it and let me know what you think about it in the comments as well. But yeah, it was just fun doing something a little bit different. And obviously it's again all comes back to you guys. I wouldn't be able to do something like that if it wasn't for you guys watching my videos and me doing the testing, but then making sure it's good enough so that you guys keep coming back and watching the testing, and you guys watching and continually wanting to know the information that I put out has kind of put me to this point where I am the go-to for car testing in GTA, and that has led to things like this article, and maybe it will lead to other things in the future. But again, it all comes down to you guys actually watching what I do rather than just ignoring it. So, you know, again, as always, as I always say, thank you for that, and thank you for supporting me, and yeah, I really do appreciate it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I really wanted to say in this video, just a quick one. But yeah, like I said, all the links down below in the description. You can check those out and read them all about that. But yeah, like I said, thank you guys so much for all the support. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little rambling video. I really do appreciate it, as always, and I'll see you next time.